So the first thing you need to do when maintaining your drivetrain or fixing something on your drivetrain is diagnosing your drivetrain. So let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another great episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Brandon Van Leuven. Brandon, how the hell are you?
Fine.
You been having a good week?
It's all right.
It's all right?
It's moving along.
It's moving along? Nothing exciting?
No.
No? All right.
No.
Yeah, sometimes it's a winner, sometimes it's not. What are you going to do?
My days and weeks are just a blur of changing inner tubes and fixing derailleurs.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know about it. Yeah, okay, never mind. Before it goes off the rails, guys, once again, we are here at Trek Bicycle Stores of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona, where the cool kids hang out, and me. And as you can gather by our intro, we are talking about troubleshooting your drivetrain. So this is episode, or I should say video number 3 of our drivetrain series. Now, sometimes your bike will give you telltale signs that something is wrong.
Yeah.
But if you don't know how to diagnose those, you really can't even begin to start to fix them.
Right.
So
what I want to do today is just kind of give our viewers my thought process. When the bike comes in, I have a customer says, I'm having trouble with my shifting, whether it's front or rear, just my chain of operations on how I go about trying to resolve the issue.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, there you have it. So let's not waste any time because we know some of you guys are impatient and just want us to rush.
Get on with it.
We're chatty. What do you want from us, guys? Okay, so Brandon, before we switch to camera angle number 2 and you do our great little transition. Yep, people love those. Yeah, it's one of the biggest, the highlight of the video. It's like watching Europe in concert, and you got to wait till the end to hear Final Countdown. So, what are some of the things, before we really get into it, that people can, just when they're riding their bike, for their own kind of self-diagnosis, what can they look for or hear for, more importantly?
I think hearing is probably one of the best ways that I find out what's wrong with things.
Okay.
At this point, I can hear if something's off on a drivetrain, but also really, it's the feel when you're out there riding and it's not engaging into your shift or skipping off the gear, things like that. I feel like a lot of people are fairly in tune, maybe sometimes too in tuned to discrepancies in how their drivetrain is running.
He's referring to me. That's a shot at me.
Sometimes that's right. It's fine. But I mean, we have to be practical. Again, I say this a lot. It's a drivetrain. It's going to wear out. It's going to start getting louder. It's going to start wearing and not performing like day one, just like everything. But it doesn't hurt to take a look, see what's going on, see if we can make things better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, all right, guys, we're gonna get ready here. All right, Brandon, give me a countdown and a clap.
3, 2, 1.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. All right, Brandon, get on with it.
All right. So customer comes into the shop having trouble with shifting. So the first thing I'm going to do, obviously, put that thing in the stand, take a look at it. I'm going to do 3 things very quickly. Come on over. Let's take a look.
Okay.
In our last episode, we talked about cleanliness of the chain. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run my hands over this thing, feel if it's super dry, super gritty.
Okay.
You'd be amazed. Sometimes a rag and some lubrication, that's all it takes to make that drivetrain sound and perform worlds better than when they brought it in. And people are amazed. Is that all you did, is lubricate it? Yes. All right, you're done.
Right.
Something you can do your damn self.
Yeah.
Going back to that.
Right.
So that's done very quickly in some instances. My next train of thought is going to be, I'm looking at the condition of our derailleur. Is it beat to hell? How's it looking? Is it also dry? Because I can also lubricate the points on the drivetrain, or excuse me, on the derailleur as well. All these little pins and all these little guys in here that operate the derailleur, sometimes those get bound up, and that friction in the derailleur itself can affect the shifting. So I'll take a look at that. I'll also see, is this thing beat up? Is it scratched? Is it bent?
You mean looking like mine?
Yes,
bounced off
looking
rocks?
like, yep. Maybe make a little still frame of that. And then I'm going to come around the back, come around the front, and I'm going to look and see and make sure that derailleur hanger is straight. I'm going to give a little push just to see that, make sure that the cog that the cog that the chain is on is all nice and lined up with the pulleys, all nice and perpendicular together. and in good shape. If it is not in good shape, the next thing I'm going to do is, provided it's not too bad, grab our derailleur hanger alignment tool. Maybe we can do another video about how this thing works in a little while.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put it on a brand new bike and start bending it up,
Right.
but this is the tool we would use to align that derailleur hanger, and a lot of times that is going to be what makes our shifting worlds better.
Gotcha. We could bring one of mine in next week and maybe do that.
Okay, we'll bend the hell out of it.
Yep.
So I'm looking at that. The next thing, if everything is looking good here, is cable tension. We talked about cable tension before, and the way we adjust cable tension is with either the barrel adjuster here or a barrel adjuster also at the shifter. If it is way off and the barrel is already out, I will need to disengage the cable, pull up the slack and start over again. But the very quick fix is just using the barrel adjuster to adjust the tension of the derailleur and line this chain up. That all can be done pretty much by listening to where the chain is making noise.
Right.
I can barrel that to where it's quiet, and a lot of times that will, all the rest of the gears will follow suit. But just for a demonstration,
Right.
we'll
Gonna
do this.
Flip around.
So let's pretend that my barrel or my cable has been worn in, and
Okay.
we're going to get a couple things. I'm going to make a shift. That's too good. So you can hear that the barrel is getting bad, and I just changed gears strictly with using my barrel cable tension. See how that works? I'm not even touching the derailleur or anything. So if I was back in this gear,
And he's adjusting the tension up there front, guys.
here's my
just
barrel
so you guys
here.
can see.
Right,
Yep.
because I didn't have enough barrel in the front.
Yep.
So if I have a settled in bike and I try to make this first shift and it's not going in, or it's noisy, what I can do then is use my barrel here, very small adjustments, just give it a little bit of tension there, see if it goes in more smoothly. If I barrel this way, that means I want my chain to go more smoothly up. If I barrel back this way, I'm letting off tension, meaning that the chain is operating more smoothly, coming back down to our higher gears.
Okay.
So this is the next thing I will do, is look at cable tension, see how we're looking there. If it's still not working well, provided that the chain is also in good shape, I will also use my chain checker. Remember the chain checker we used? I'll make sure the chain is also in good shape. The derailleur's hanger is straight. The derailleur's not beat up. The chain is in good shape. So now we got to think a little bit further on. And my next step in the process is thinking about the cable itself. If the bike is a little bit older, if it's been dusty, in this case, it's full length housing, so I can't see the cable, but in some instances, I have a strip of cable here or a strip of cable here. I'll kind of pull it down a little bit and see, is it corroded? Is it looking white? Is it all dusty inside there? Has the bike look like it's been hosed down too many times where I can see actual rust or corrosion?
Right.
That
This
will be
is
a
why I
contributing...
don't wash my bike, guys.
I don't either. This will be a contributing factor to that. Especially in full-length housing, we have the opportunity for a lot of friction in the line, and friction in cables is like the biggest enemy of drivetrains operating smoothly, along with kinks in the cable. A lot of things we see as well is if we have cables running on the length of the down tube and people put them on a bike rack, it'll cause a kink in the cable, and that kink creates slack in the line. So what happens is my pull ratio on the shift lever here has to take up that slack before it begins to actuate the derailleur. So that screws everything up. So next thing, I'll have to probably remove all the cables and housing, which isn't super expensive. See how that's going. And if that is not working, I'm going to start throwing parts at it. So now my next thing is going to be, do I need a new derailleur? Is something wrong with that derailleur? They're fairly fragile pieces, and if I see scratches, if I see nicks on it, it can be a fairly small impact. It could definitely affect how that derailleur works.
Gotcha.
So, provided the chain is in good shape, I'm going to throw a derailleur on it. The derailleur's not working, I might throw a derailleur on a cassette, and then just start snowballing there. We're going to start throwing parts at it.
Right.
So that's kind of the rear derailleur. what were we going to say? The
process.
the process is fine.
The process on how to diagnose what's going on with your rear shifting from the rear derailleur.
Now the front has a
front.
few extra things to it.
All right, let's
I
talk
will
about
do
the front.
if I have trouble shifting in the front, I'm still going to do everything that we talked about in the back. But what is very crucial with the front derailleur is that it is lined up and it is the proper height from the chainring itself.
Okay.
So a lot of times the cage can get beat up, in which case I need to realign that, or it can be knocked off of the yaw, or it could be yawing and not straight. In some cases, we're talking about ceramic needs a yaw. That's neither here nor there. That's for later. That's for a later thing. But I'm going to make sure, say if it's a Marlin 5, I'm going to make sure that this derailleur is straight, lined up with the chainring, and that it is also the proper height. Sometimes, sometimes it just happens where the derailleur will slip down and is either too low and hits the teeth, or it could be too high as well. Too high can also be a contributing factor to poor shifting in the front. If you have oval rings and you have a front derailleur, just give up. You're never going to get good shifting. I'm sorry. That being said, that is just for our minor adjustments for shifting. Now let's talk about something else. If we are having our chain fall off in any of the extreme ranges of our drivetrain, say we're falling off to the outside here during shifting, or falling off to the inside during shifting, then we have to start messing with these guys. These are our limit screws.
Right.
And be pretty careful. These are nice, and if you can zoom in on that, you can see that these are labeled for low and high.
Hold on a second, let me get some focus going on there. Oh, maybe. There we go, there's some focus. Sorry guys, it just keeps friggin' wanting, there we go. Okay.
There you go, nicely done. So on a derailleur like this, it's a fairly easy one to adjust, to be honest with you. Just know that by dialing in whoa, now I'm stuttering. By dialing in the limit screw actually brings in the derailleur and will stop that chain from falling off to the inside or outside.
Right.
If you have trouble shifting into those gears, sometimes dialing the limit screw out will help you get into that. It's a little bit of a fine line, and it takes a little bit of experience to get that adjustment. But what you want to do is, once you've established where you think the limit should be on the front, really go after it with the front derailleur. See if you can make it come off in the stand or at home, and then test ride it. See if you can make it come off on the test ride, and then adjust accordingly from there.
Okay.
Sometimes it does take a test ride to find out, because there's now pressure and weight on the drivetrain, where we need to be with the limit screws. Same thing in the back. We got screws in the back too. Check out all these screws. So I have my limit screws as well here. I can't tell which one's front or rear, excuse me, but these do the same thing. These will limit if the chain is coming off to the inside here in front of the frame, or to the outside from the low gear.
Okay.
By dialing those in and out. Again, small adjustments with those every time. They have to be very minute. Test, try it again, and see how we're doing. One more screw we need to talk about.
Okay, one more screw.
And that is our B-tension screw.
Okay.
So this is a fine-tuning adjustment for sure. And this one is kind of done mostly, to me, by ear. I will shift up into this gear. The last one to the top, and I'll see how smoothly this one's going into, well, now that I mess with my other ones, I'm messed up. But I'll see how smoothly that's going in quietly. Some derailleurs are going to have a gauge that you can use to actually find the exact, this is for SRAM, don't pay attention to this, both of these are for SRAM, but sometimes you'll have a limit screw gauge that will fine tune that for you.
Okay.
Note that if you have a dual suspension bike, definitely do this while you're on the bike and have a friend help you, because the weight bearing down the suspension will also affect how the B-tension screw needs to be set. Nice. So B-tension is also for, and I'm sorry, I should back up. Here's what B-tension does. B-tension, if I dial in that B-tension screw, it moves your top jockey wheel further away or closer to your rear cogs. So that could be a fine tuning that will help things shift a little bit more smoothly. But it's not, it's fine tuning. So a lot of times if you're not shifting into gears, it's other problems and not your B-tension screw.
Gotcha. So now what about, say, SRAM access
for
mountain bike.
Yep.
Do they have a B-tension screw, or is there a different way to
They
adjust
do.
that?
They have. It's not this one. It might be this one.
Okay.
They have a B-tension gauge for
Okay.
that. In some of the more the nicer Shimano ones, they'll actually have some hash marks that you can line up.
Okay.
To get that very easy. On these guys, it's more feel, it's more sound that's
Okay.
going to help us dial those guys in.
Awesome. All right.
That's about it. That was a
That's
lot of
about it.
talking.
There was a lot of talking, but it was very informative. All right, you ready to go back to the other view?
Oh, do we have to go back?
All right, here we go.
All right.
3, 2, 1. All right, my friends, thanks to the magic of movies, we're back to our regular camera angle. Brandon, that was actually very informative.
Thanks.
No, seriously.
I ran through it pretty quickly, but it may also open the window for more questions to come in and some more details
Yes.
to arise. Again, this is a fairly basic drivetrain. Even as they get nicer and more expensive and better, they actually become easier to dial in and to keep
Right.
to keep maintained. But
Okay.
yep, I hope
Well,
it worked.
if you've made it this far, my friends, we do appreciate it. And I'm going to say once again, ask questions, comment down below. We're a very interactive channel. So if there's something you would like us to go in depth on one of these portions where there's the front derailleur, the rear derailleur, maybe even just shifters up front, anything like that, let us know and we'll be happy to make a video dedicated specifically to that area. As far as that goes, but yeah, and this is stuff that I know. I'm, again, lazy, and I just choose to bring it to the bike shop because I'm a lonely man and have nothing better to do. It's my form of social interaction. And yeah, why not let the experts do it? Now, if I'm on the trail or something, at least I have that knowledge. I can make a fix out on the field
yeah.
as far as that goes. But as far as the maintenance itself, I let Brandon and his guys and gals deal with it. That's
what we do.
Yep. That's not for me. So, on that note, my friend, seriously, what did we say? Hit the like, the subscribe, the bell notification icon, because it's the trifecta that we love here at Get Out Arizona. It helps out the channel. It helps out the video. There's going to be links down below. The most important one is for Trek Bicycle Stores of West Phoenix. If you have any questions, you can follow that link. You can give them a call. If you're local, just stop on in. You might not necessarily be able to talk to Brandon, but you can talk to one of his great team. Seriously, I know all of them. They're all awesome, and they know their stuff. Other links, social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the devil's work, but it's necessary to get the word out for Get Out Arizona. We also do group rides. We do group hikes. It's a whole lot of fun, my friends, so show us some love on the social media circuit. There's some other links that are affiliate links from Amazon. If you make a purchase, a qualifying purchase, we'll receive a small commission, all right? But you won't be charged anything additional, and that helps out with gas money, park pass money, and coffee money, the other trifecta that we enjoy so much here at Get Out Arizona. So on that note, what do we say, my friends? Be kind to yourself and others. Seriously, it's so much easier to show love than it is to hate. I don't know why you'd want to do the other one. Be amazing stewards out on the trail. Lead by example, my friends. Seriously, educate, don't humiliate, and lead by example. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get Out Arizona.
Goddamn right. So excited today.
That was a long one.
Yeah. We'll see you on that next adventure, my friends. Take care and be safe. Brandon, we'll see you next week.
Godspeed.